Okay, let's get into this. We're about to unpack the incredible journey of entrepreneur Danny McMillan. And I'm telling you, it is a wild story of profound loss, catastrophic failure, and, well, a kind of resilience that just completely redefines what success even means. It's a story of train wrecks and, eventually, triumphs.
And it all really kicks off with this idea, his core philosophy. From the very beginning, Danny McMillan is clear. He's not just chasing the big paycheck. His whole approach is built around creating meaning, believing that money will just naturally follow. This single idea really sets the stage for everything that comes next.
So before we hit rewind, let's just take a quick look at where that philosophy got him. Today, he's this multi-talented entrepreneur, juggling several businesses at once. He's got a product business on Amazon, a pay-per-click advertising agency, and even a service business in construction. On top of that, he's an international speaker and the host of a top-rated podcast. But to really get how he built this diversified empire, we've got to go all the way back to the beginning.
To really understand the man he is now, you have to see his scrappy origins in East London and that first lightning bolt moment that completely changed the course of his life.
This right here, this contrast, just says it all about his early life. See, growing up, Danny had learning difficulties, could barely read or write. So when he wrote to his local mayor asking for advice on how to get into the music industry, the mayor basically just laughed him off and said, "Why don't you become a carpenter?" But Danny had this, what he calls, steely determination. So he just forged his own path anyway and became a super successful international DJ and producer.
His early life was this incredible mix of serious challenges and some amazingly smart decisions. From those tough beginnings, he survives a near-fatal accident at just 15. And then, with some serious foresight for a 19-year-old, he uses the insurance payout to buy his first home and the studio gear that would launch his entire music career.
So that first lightning bolt, it struck when he was only 15. He was working on a construction site, and his life was almost ended when half a ton of glass just collapsed right on top of him.
And the aftermath was just devastating. 80 stitches, broken ribs, a lacerated liver. It was brutal, a truly life-altering event. But instead of breaking him, he says it was his first big wake-up call. It forged this powerful resolve in him to build the life he actually wanted, not the one that other people thought he should have.
All right, so after finding success in music, he jumps into his next big thing, an online music community. And this venture? Well, this would lead to his second lightning bolt moment, a complete catastrophic business failure.
He and his partner spent 2.5 years, that's 30 months, building this incredibly complex platform. And here's the kicker. They knew absolutely nothing about the internet. They built the whole thing in total secret, no feedback from anyone, and with zero real-world experience.
Their approach was basically a masterclass in what not to do. They built a product they thought everyone would want, they burned through all their cash doing it, and then when they finally launched, crickets. Nobody came. It was, in his own words, an absolute disaster.
But, and this is a huge but, that epic failure taught him the single most valuable lesson of his business career, the power of validation. Instead of building a whole company, now he just tests a model. He'll run some paid ads to a simple landing page just to see if anybody actually cares before he sinks any real time or money into it. He says now he can figure out if an idea has legs in just 3 days.
Just as he was dealing with this massive professional failure, his personal life was hit by this almost unimaginable series of tragedies. This was his ultimate reset.
First, in August of 2010, the company he'd poured years of his life into it officially shuts down. He's left exhausted and in debt.
Then, just a few months after that, he and his wife suffered the absolutely devastating loss of their son, Riley.
And then, less than a year later, they faced the incomprehensible loss of their daughter, Sariah.
And this is what you really have to understand. This period of just profound loss, combined with being nearly bankrupt, it completely reset his perspective on, everything. Like he says, when you've been through something that devastating, the challenges you face in business, they just become water off a duck's back.
So, armed with this completely new perspective on risk and that validate-first mindset, he began to systematically, piece by piece, rebuild his life from the ground up.
His new strategy was built around one core principle: resilience. He very deliberately built a diversified portfolio, spreading his risk across a product business, a service business, and an agency. He wanted to avoid that single point of failure that had totally crippled him before. So his new blueprint is actually pretty simple, but it's incredibly powerful. He builds slow and steady, he validates every single idea first, and this is really important. He puts his own skin in the game, his own money, and refuses outside capital. That way, he always maintains control of his own destiny.
So what can we actually learn from this incredible journey? I mean, the wisdom he gained was literally forged in fire.
Okay, lesson number 1, and this is the big one he learned the hard way. Validate first. Seriously, don't build a business. Test a model. Second, you've got to redefine risk. After everything he went through, business problems became just that. Problems that you solve, not life-ending catastrophes. It is all about perspective.
And finally, lesson number 3, back yourself. At the end of the day, if you truly, heartily believe in what you're doing, you have to be the first one willing to invest. The buck stops with you.
So, we'll just leave you with this question to think about. Because if Danny McMillan's powerful story shows us anything, it's that adversity doesn't just test us, it reveals what we're really made of. And often it's our greatest challenges that force us to build our greatest strengths.